You are listening to Peak One Sports.
Welcome to the Bungalow Fight Show. Wah, wah.
Yep.
It's okay. I guess with how good we kicked off 2024, the universe is a cruel place, Alexis. It's a cruel place, and guys like us don't get to be on top for long. You know what I mean? But it just gives us the opportunity to claw our way back.
Yes.
We
actually didn't dig ourselves that deep in a hole.
Well, I'm just card for card. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Before we get to that, I need to remind everyone that this episode is brought to you by Betalytics. And if you looked at our fight results from this last weekend, maybe you'd have a better job going with Betalytics, even though they don't even offer MMA. They might, just stare at their website, and you might have got better picks than we gave you last week. But if you go to Betalytics and use promo code PEAK1, you can get 25% off all their goodies they have there, all their analytics and everything else that they offer at Betalytics to help you make smarter bets. Don't bet with your gut, bet with Betalytics. Promo code PEAK1 for 25% off. You can also go to bonfire.com/store/peak1sports to see all the merch that we create and have up there for all the shows on this network, including this one. You can get the Bungalow Fight Show shirt. You can get the Bungalow Sports Show shirt. You can get the Pair of Fist with Skates Bungalow Hockey Show shirt, which, again, has been delayed because I'm in a house with fevers. So I've decided that even though I don't ever get sick, and I probably wouldn't I don't know if I just am immune to germs, or if I don't want to just accidentally pass on one of my family members' fevers to one of my co-hosts. So Joey, we did a remote show last night. And this is Thursday, so you've already probably watched that Bungalow Sports Show. And then my co-host Daniel, I told him to stay away this morning, so we didn't do a Bungalow Hockey Show. So one more week till we get back to the Bungalow Hockey Show. But for some reason, that is my promo for the Peak One Sports Store. Go to bonfire.com/store/peak1sports and check out all our merch. Go to shankitgolf.com. Even if you don't golf, if you just need a cool, if you need to wear a collared shirt somewhere and you don't want to look like a doofus, go there. They got cool looking collared shirts. If you're going to a place where dudes golf and you don't golf and you want to fit in, go to shankitgolf.com and get some cool collared shirts. If you're like me and you just want to look cool in your living room while hitting the virtual links on your Oculus or your VR device, go to Shankit Golf. I ordered the Shankit Golf glove just to use with my VR golf club attachment that I got for my VR controller. It's actually a golf club handle, and you and you attach the VR thing to the end of the handle, so it feels like you're swinging a real golf club. So I'm big time hitting the bogeys even in the virtual world, taking virtual mulligans out there in my Shankit Golf gear. Go to shankitgolf.com, use promo code PEAK1 for 15% off your order there. Okay, I know you can't see the graphics, Alexis, but I'm about to swipe over to the results of this last weekend's fight card, and I kind of did it for a second, and then I saw it, and I put it back. I put it back on the Shankit Golf thing, because, all right, we're just going to do it. This last weekend, we had UFC 297, Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. And, I'm going to preface this, okay? God damn it. No, I'm not making any excuses. You pick, you lose. You pick, you win. It is what it is. But I want everyone to recall Alexis and I's apprehension to, almost being forced to bet on so many goddamn Canadians. All right, it was foisted upon us, and our apprehension was correct, because out of 7 Canadian picks, or six or seven Canadian picks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Canadian picks, we had 1 Canadian victor. All right, 1 Canadian victor in the entire card of a Toronto-based card. That is shameful. Shameful, I say. By the time this show comes out, there'll be a clip from the Bungalow Sports Show coming out that you'll probably see on social media, where I call it shameful, because every other goddamn time there's a fight card in another country and it's littered with fighters from that country. I know we say this all the time, Alexis and I, but those fighters always tend to get a little boost, whether it's the UK, whether it's Australia, whether it's China. Those fighters always show out, at least on a 50-50, not 1 for 7 or 1 for 6 or whatever the fuck it was.
2 out of 7.
2 out of 7, and we didn't bet on one of those.
Yeah. But those are favorable matchups, and that's what makes me even more pissed off about this, because I've been on this like fade Canada tirade.
Oh, I know. We always talk about it, and then, like I said, they just force it on us.
And like this, oh, dude, like, I'm not even that mad about the main event as much,
right,
as I am about me coming on here and saying fade Canada,
and then we pick all Canadians.
Yeah, we pick Canadians, and look what happens.
And if we had just stuck with our gut, we would have bet against. We would have bet. Fights. Yeah, we would have bet against all the Canadians and would have really been happy today. But instead, we're really sad. All right, let's.
I picked them for you, Canada.
Yeah,
like, I was like, you guys deserve some respect. I was like, I can't always be this way, and I can't always say like fade this. And I'm like, okay, like they shouldn't be that bad. These are all favorable matchups for you.
It was horrible. It was a horrible night of fights for Canada. Because even one of the 2 Canadian victors, they were both women. That was Jasmine Jasdavicius, which was one of our only picks that won, and she won our prop with the submission. Jillian Robertson, it wasn't a what would you call a really impressive showing. You know, she just won.
Yeah. Dude. Okay, so I have to hold this up real quick.
Yeah.
So the fact that we picked Jasudavicius by sub, and how long it took her to get
my God,
sub.
She could have subbed her in the first round. She ended up subbing her in the third with
6 times in the first round. Like every round she could have subbed.
And it was pissing me off because they kept, because her opponent missed weight, right? And she's a constant weight misser, and Jazz Zudavicius like made a comment basically like, I want to punish her, kind of a thing, and that type of attitude, sometimes even if you're dominating a fight, you end up getting beat because you just let it go on too long trying to punish this girl, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just, she had so many opportunities in the first, second, and third to finish her by submission, but she just kept trying to get the TKO, kept trying to pound her out, but the girl's tough as shit, so she wasn't just going to go out, and she kept moving her arms enough and fighting enough off of her back to just keep the ref from stopping it. And like, if you've watched enough fights, you know that a lot of experienced refs, like, they'll let somebody's face get pounded in, but if they keep moving, they're not going to stop it for a TKO, especially when the other person obviously doesn't have enough power to put them to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, she's just going to batter her, meat tenderizer style for 3 rounds, and the ref's going to keep going, let it go, because, she's not getting knocked out. She's just getting her face beat up, and she's going to keep moving and squirming. And I just saw that, like, okay, our pick's going to hit, but we're not going to get this sub because Jasmine just feels like she needs to knock this girl out, and it's just not going to happen. But thank Christ she sunk in that sub and won 1 prop for the night.
Yeah.
Um,
Actually, the biggest prop that we took, like the biggest odds as well.
Mhm.
That one.
All right, well, let's just do a quick overview since it was so bad. We got Gordon versus Flick, and that Gordon missed weight. He comes in, was kind of gonna retire no matter what.
Yeah.
Was
winning the fight.
Was winning the damn fight, and then the brick Jimmy Flick, he just did it. He took out Gordon, and that pissed me off so bad because it's just like this guy could have ended his career in He's a Canadian in Canada, knew he was going to retire, and then just literally had the most JV fucking fight IQ. You know what I mean? Like literally like he was a first-time UFC fighter out there and just blew his wad so fucking fast because he could have, if he'd just paced himself a little bit, he could have finished that fucking fight. But instead, he gets caught and he gets beat and started our night off real shitty. Oh shit. Sorry, I just got a text from some work thing real quick. That's all right. And then so that started it off. Then, obviously the Jasmine victory was the next fight. And then we had the Linus versus Patterson, which we had as a knockout. And that
who was winning the round, the fight as well.
Again, and then gets fucking choked out. I was
like, why don't you guys just stop for a second, back up, and then go at him again instead of just trying to smother some dude who's known for submissions?
Yeah, pretty crazy, man. Just that it was just a night like that, and then we obviously had the Polyana Viana, Jillian Robertson fight, and we went against Canada on that one, and that one bit us in the ass.
She lives in Florida. She's not truly Canadian.
Right. So. And then so she pulled out a decision victory over Polyana. Then we had another one of our lone victories, which Alexis called. We called it a KO, but we'll take what we can get. And Tavares in the rematch with Siri City, right? And that was a rematch from the Contender Series. Tavares pulled that one out. As far as back and forth fights, at least that one was kind of interesting. But the next fight was about as frustrating as it gets, and that's Charles Jourdain versus Woodson. And we had Jourdain in for a knockout, but he lost by split decision to the most awkward looking body in the UFC.
You know why he looks so awkward? He used to be a heavyweight. He was a heavyweight boxer.
Yeah, right. But I don't know Jourdain. I after this card, I'm pretty much done with all Canadians, but definitely Charles Jourdain.
Yeah, I don't understand why he didn't just attack the legs. The legs were always there,
right?
Instead of trying to, we all know Jourdain. I've said Jourdain doesn't have takedowns. We saw that he doesn't have takedowns.
Right.
He did clip Sean Woodson with a couple of good shots, but if he went and attacked the legs and tried to, force him down that way, I think that would have been a better outcome for him. But he just didn't.
Right. Yeah. It was just bad. And then Ultimate Fighter winner Brad Katona, who we went against on the Ultimate Fighter finale, and then tried to set it right by going for him in his first fight since that finale, and he let us down too against Garrett Armfield, who I don't know, man. Just watching every one of these fights, it was just like, what? Like, I don't know. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. This card is so. This podcast is so like hurtful for us.
It is.
It doesn't even want to stay up.
The microphone is frowning.
Yeah.
That was it for the prelims, and then moving in for even some more disappointment. And this is the thing I was obviously disappointed going through all these prelims with how they went, but then going into the main card, I was like, okay, well, here are the pretty much sure things. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily sure things, but I was most confident about these picks on the main card, barring the very first fight, which was Arnold Allen and Movsar Evloev, just because Evloev's he's no slouch, dude. You know what I mean? And Allen was coming off a little bit of a long layoff, but like we were saying on the last show, like losing to Max Holloway's not a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and Arnold Allen's a bad motherfucker, and so it was pretty much bad motherfucker versus, if you want to say, unproven bad motherfucker, because Evloev like just dominates everyone, but dominates everybody to a decision with his wrestling and things like that.
Yeah.
And Arnold Allen's a kind of a sniper type character. So I was the least confident in that one, and Arnold Allen put on a good showing until he didn't. And I don't know.
Honestly, Arnold Allen literally only lost round 2. That's the round that he faded in.
Yeah.
I gave Arnold Allen round 1, and I gave him round 3.
You did? Okay.
But fucking Mark Goddard. God damn it, dude. Like,
I know.
The damn, like... Hold on, I guess missing forwarding that car. But, dude... They went through new sanction rules. The fact that if your hand is down, like,
right,
people to get away from people gaming the system of putting their hand down to be a grounded opponent, it has to be weight bearing. Arnold Allen was lifting Evloev up and kneeing him.
Yep, and they saw it in the replay too. And I was just like, why can't they just look at the fucking replay? But I mean, at that point, I guess it's too late. You know what I mean? Because it's he's got.
I think if they do the replay, well, I don't know how it is in Canada, but it might be the same as it is in New York. Once it goes to replay, the fight's over.
Okay. Well, but again, that wouldn't have mattered because it's the fact that you let him take a break after getting kneed in the head 4 fucking times. Yeah. And it's like, if you would have just watched what was happening and see that his hand was off the ground every time he took that knee to the head, those were legal knees, and that fight could have been over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they robbed him of a TKO stoppage, like, for sure, because there's no way. Evloev's good, but like I figured, like,
well, he wasn't
Arnold
getting
Allen
out of that headlock, and
yeah,
if Goddard didn't stop it, he would have kneed him fucking 6 more times, and he wasn't getting through any more of those knees, and it sucks because I guess I get it. It's a split decision. I mean, a split second decision that a ref has to make in that moment, but for the sake of fucking fighting, you should play on the side of let him get knocked out and then have it be a no contest when they look at the replay if his hand was on the ground. You know what I mean? Because you ruin the fucking fight that way, because it's like that was legal shit and he could have won a TKO. Right? And it's like, but instead you stop the fight, gets a big ass rest, gets the cobwebs cleared out, and then the guy goes on to win the fight. If the fight gets stopped, and then later they decide, oh, it was illegal, and you make it a no contest, then you can do a rematch. Like this way,
DQ Allen, like,
or DQ out, whatever. But it's like either way, like what you did was the wrong decision because it was legal. You know, hindsight being 20/20, obviously, but it was legal, and the fight probably would have ended. Like, you changed the outcome of the fight by doing that. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's fucked up because, like I said, going back and looking at a knockout and calling it a DQ or calling it a no contest is more fair than stealing what most likely would have been a TKO victory for the other guy. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
fuck that fight.
Honestly, Arnold Allen still has stock. Evloev, you're on thin ice, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, his wrestling is obviously top notch. You know what I mean? So, but
Who Arnold's or
Evloev, obviously, like he's got takedowns, you know what I mean? But Arnold kept getting back up. He kept hitting those Grambies, and Evloev can chain wrestle because he was able to kind of roll with him when Arnold was doing those Grambies and all that stuff. But I just don't see a fight style that's going to be, championship caliber in the featherweight division with what I saw.
Yeah.
Because again, he should have been fucking TKO'd. But anyways, moving on. One of our last victory of the night, Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barriault. I wasn't that exciting of a fight. It was just kind of a stand-up boxing match, basically. Yeah. And Chris Curtis outpointed him.
Okay, listen to what you said right there about Chris Curtis and how his fight was, and Barriault landing kicks.
Right.
And Chris Curtis still won.
Right. Yeah.
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 What happened in the main event?
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but yes, it was kind of almost like a 3-round version of what we saw in the main event.
I think judged that fight.
Yeah. Yep. So Chris Curtis wins. That was another pick of ours, so hooray for us. Next fight was maybe the most frustrating fight of the entire night. And that is Mike Malott versus Neil fucking Magny, goddammit.
Oh, okay. So before we get into this, I was already so upset about this card. I took Magny at plus 300 out of spite.
Oh, good for you.
I dropped $10 on the parlays, and I was like, you know what? Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I was like, throw another $10 on Neil Magny, and I got my money back. So
yeah, and normally if I was at home when this fight went down, I would have done the same thing probably, but I was on my way home and wasn't able to make my normal panic bet. But fucking Mike Malott, you fading motherfucker, like he was dominating the whole fight, and then in the third round, we all know Neil Magny doesn't get tired. Right? Yeah. But he can be beat by decision if you just keep your cardio going with him and don't do what you did, Mike Malott, which was get tired and then let him land a punch. And then you end up let him land a takedown. I'm sorry. You get taken down and you get TKO'd, and it was just so close to the end. I was just like, hang on. Like every punch that landed from Magny, I was just like, don't stop it. Just hang on. And then we got to win.
Was it like 15 seconds left on the card? Like,
yeah, it was so close, so fucking close.
He just needed to block
like two of them, like
block, turn to the sides a little bit,
just something. Just give us a little bit of movement, and you could have lasted that and won a decision, but you had nothing left, and Neil Magny gets another victory. I mean, I don't hate Neil Magny at all, but it's just like I feel like every time we bet on him, he loses. Every time we bet against him, he wins. I think I'm not betting on any more Neil Magny fights.
I was like, where was this Neil Magny for
Ian Gary?
For Ian Gary.
Yeah, exactly.
I expected that to happen for Ian. I expected Ian Gary to piece him up like the way he did, and then Neil Magny's just like, all right, cool, now it's my turn.
I know it was
the way he did this.
Interesting, but I mean, maybe it just. I guess Malott's not in that category yet. You know what I mean? I guess not, because he was dominating that whole damn fight. But again, can't get angry when an old dog pulls out a new trick, and I guess it's his old trick, right? And
yeah, it's his trick. It's what he does.
That's what he does. Yeah. All right, moving on to the co-main event.
Okay, so all right, so out of all those 7 male Canadian fighters, like you said in the beginning, did not show up, did not win. From now on, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't care if I'm gonna lose from now on, but instant Canada fade.
Oh yeah, always.
I was like, because Canada, swear,
unless George St. Pierre comes out of retirement, Canada fade, baby. I can't do it anymore.
If you're not Canadian Tech Death Metal, I'm not rooting for you. I'm not rooting for your hockey teams.
We're out.
You suck.
We're out.
Your MMA fighters suck.
We're out.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
We're out.
Sorry, Canada.
Prove it to us.
You did it to yourself.
You guys have a whole year to prove it to us, and probably even more. because we've been on Fade Canada for 2+ years
Right.
now.
We just need to start listening to ourselves.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. Co-main event. The old dog, Raquel Pennington, pulls out a very unexpected victory against the youngster, Mayra Buena Silva, who we thought was going to run right through her, but goddamn were we wrong.
Oh, yeah, dude. It looked like she was gonna win in the first 2 rounds.
It did, but
Oh,
I mean,
like
Pennington just
round
kept
3.
coming back. Every time they got stood back up, Pennington would land a few shots where you're like, oh shit, and then eventually, she just overwhelmed her, dude. And that third round, just freaking put it on her. And Buena Silva was done. She was doing the whole Damian Maya lay on my back when the other person stands up.
Yeah,
I ain't got nothing left. Like, kind of move and. Just bad sight in the judge's eyes, you know what I mean? Even if maybe you won, you could have won a round. The fact that you did that at the end of the round means you lost the round. You know what I mean? And Raquel Pennington is the new bantamweight champion, which means next fight we'll have another new bantamweight champion. I guess, I don't want to talk shit because the thing is I said this on the Bungalow Sports Show, is like Raquel Pennington's one of those fighters that keeps sticking around, win one, lose one, win one, lose one, whatever. But also, she was like the only chick to take Amanda Nunes to a decision. We got to give that some credit because Amanda Nunes demolishes everyone, except if you think it was just one of those title fights where it's like nobody really remembers it because nobody really Raquel Pennington isn't a big name, so nobody really remembers that. Oh wait, she was the only one to like take her to a 5-round decision. You know what I mean? Like she did that. So that's worth something. And I guess she showed that now that Amanda's gone, she took her title. Although Amanda was in the crowd to cheer her on because like she's friends with friends with them and Tisha Torres and stuff, and like Amanda did come out with a statement saying like, I still feel like after watching that fight, I still feel like the champion.
Oh yeah, that's totally true.
Honestly,
throw Miesha Tate in there. I think Miesha Tate takes out Pennington.
Give Miesha Tate another title shot, dude, because she'll wrestle the shit out of her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it just was a bad showing by Buena Silva. Definitely shows how green she is, and she needs some more rounds in there, because Raquel Pennington, kind of in the same way Neil Magny sticks around, like that's her game, is like, I'm just gonna stick around until you're a little more tired than me, and then I'm gonna clip you with a couple things. And
then try to finish you, but I can't.
Right.
I don't have the skills to do it.
But you were tired enough that it was over already. Like, and that's what it is. So I mean, another 15 seconds, and in that Mike Malott Neil Magny fight, like they were very similar fights, except I don't know. No, Mike Malott was dominating way more.
He was dominating way more, and I think like the ending of that fight, even though like I did win that bet, I was still like,
you're just like, what the fuck?
I was more upset about my picks, right? And so like when that fight started happening, I was like, Jesus Christ, like, we make these picks now, and we make them so public that it's like, even when I do go against myself during the card and like make some other like hedge bets or like some panic bets, I still get mad when the picks that we made public go, even if a parlay's busted, but one of our just straight up picks, like, even if I have another little panic bet against the pick, it's like, I still get mad. I'm like, God damn it. Like, now everybody's going to know we picked the wrong guy. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about...
But I just say...
Oh, go ahead.
I want to say, Valentina Shevchenko, dude, leave... What is it? 125? From the one...
Yeah.
Is it 125? Yeah, leave Alexa Grasso alone.
Yeah,
you destroy all these other chicks at bantamweight.
She could get that bantamweight strap, dude. Definitely after watching that fight.
She's wrecked Pennington.
Oh yeah,
she's wrecked Juliana Pena. Like she's wrecked Holly Holm. Holly Holm's not even fighting in the same weight class. She's still 145.
Right.
I don't know why that's still there, but like she cleaned up the whole division already.
She could go be the champ tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there, who they give. I mean, if they let Juliana Pena fight Pennington, I feel like Juliana Pena wins. But I like that. Valentina. They just UFC is like, let's just do a do-over. Let's do Valentina Amanda Nunes out of retirement 5, and I don't know. Anyways, all right. Main fight, main event. Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. It was a back and forth fucking fight. It was ended in a split decision for Dricus. Both Alexis and I, aside from our pick, because we weren't winning any money, even if Strickland got the nod, just completely objectively, and we're not the only ones saying it. So if you're watching this and you were one of the detractors, going against our pick, saying du Plessis was going to win it, no problem. It's not because of the pick. It's not because of the money. Just watching the damn fight. Go watch Joe Rogan was doing a fight companion with it. Go watch everybody. Go watch every person on that fight companion's reaction to the decision. They felt the same way. Dana White felt the same way. A lot of the internet felt the same way. It was a close fight. It was a close fight. But Sean Strickland won the fight. But that's the judges, man. It is what it is. Sometimes, just based off damage, you get a judge's nod. And if that was the case the other night, it would have been Strickland's belt. But I guess they decided that the few takedowns that led to nothing and a few more kicks mattered. But if you looked at the strike numbers, Strickland won, and it was 99% a striking fight. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. It's just one of those things where it's like, well, I guess we got a storyline now with Izzy and Dracus. I don't know. It was just one of those things where it was kind of a little bit of an uneventful fight. So even with the ending going the way it did, it just made it even worse, and it just perfect fight to top off this freaking shit card. So I don't know. The thing that irks me the most about it, I think, is my pride and how our praise for Sean Strickland last week and the clips online and everything. And that was the biggest commented on clip, was us saying that I don't see Sean Strickland losing this fight, and giving him all the praise was the most people, giving us laugh emojis, and the most people saying, oh, you guys are fucking crazy. But we lost fair and square. Our pick was wrong, fair and square, I guess. But I don't want people now acting like Drake is just like, oh, I told you so. It's like, motherfucker, that wasn't a clear cut, like, holy shit, Drake has annihilated him. You know what I mean? Which is what people were acting like. The only clear cut
thing was round 4. And that's the only time the takedowns mattered.
Right. And I just, that's the one thing is like, now I'm going to have to hear it this week from people who went against, who thought our pick was dumb, but it's just like, bitch, split decision. And a majority of the people out there didn't agree with the decision. So fucking do a goddamn rematch. I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't know.
Yeah. And okay, so regardless, I mean, we could talk about the fight, but like, I just want to, I've read so many articles about recapping the fight, and a lot of the articles are saying, I don't like Sean Strickland, so I was happy to see.
Right.
And I was I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this article anymore.
No, because that's the thing is, yes, and he did go on an epic anti-gay, anti-trans tirade during the press conference this last week, which was crazy. Which I didn't even hear until I heard it on a podcast this morning where somebody actually played it back or whatever. And I was like, holy shit. Cause an obvious gay reporter asked him, and then cause it was in Canada and Canada's so woke and shit. Some guy who had to be the savior of the woke movement and call Sean Strickland out. And of course, Sean Strickland, being who he is, was just like, fuck you, motherfucker, you're the problem.
He's not wrong. I mean,
have your opinions. I don't give a shit, but it has nothing to do with their fighting skill. No, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. If you're somebody who wants grandkids, I can understand why you'd would be a little fucking bummed out if your son was gay or what, or your daughter was gay. If you want grandkids, if that's something that you dreamed about your whole life, that was kind of his whole point in the thing. It's like, because that was the guy was kind of calling that out of saying, if you said in an interview, if your son was gay, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I want grandkids. If I, you know what I mean? If
you're just be like, fair enough. Okay.
But I get, whatever. Like you said, both sides argue. They're gonna be arguing till the day we're all dead. So I don't even want to step into that argument. But of course, that's gonna be the narrative of just like it's not gonna be, oh, that fight was so close, or that fight, you know, should have went this way, should have went that way. It's gonna be like, oh, thank God the hateful guy lost.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And it
thank
sucks,
God the guy who kisses his coach on the lips won.
Yeah.
He went out of his way. He kissed multiple men on the lips after his fight.
We got a real progressive as a champion now.
And I'm a big shock value guy, so I love it. I like that he kisses so many dudes on the lips because it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And whatever side of whatever argument you're on, whoever.
And then he kissed his girlfriend. That was so cool. I
know, dude. Like he even added a chick in there, dude. Like, come on.
Spit. He's greedy, man. He's greedy.
He is. Yeah, come on, dude. Save some lips for the rest of us.
But congrats to Duplessis, though.
Yeah, because that's the thing is, we're not Duplessis haters. Like, we were on Duplessis nuts since he got in the UFC. I like his fight style. I like him. We just technically and just fighter wise, we thought Strickland was going to pull this thing out, and he arguably did. It was so fucking close. But also, again, I like the narrative of Duplessis versus Izzy. We've liked that since the Africa versus Africa fight, and him saying, you know, he's been saying it, I'm gonna be the first African champion. All your other African champions don't live in Africa. I do. I was born here. I'm gonna die here. Which I love. Right. I like that narrative. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like it because he's right. It's true. Izzy's from New Zealand. You know what I mean? Kamaru Usman is from Texas. You know what I mean?
From Nebraska.
And for what Ngannou, I guess he fled Africa, so maybe if he had a better life there, he'd still live there. But he went to France. He's now an American. You know what I mean? So it's just like Duplessis, just because he's white, is never gonna win that argument. I don't, because people are fucking racist.
Honestly,
racist goes both ways.
Oh. Yeah, he has the same like stigma of like racism towards him just because he is of Dutch descent, like say a black person would have in the 50s.
Of course, but the thing is also like he was born on a place like you don't have that guy should not be looked down upon because his grandfather's grandfather subjugated you know what I mean a society. Like he was just born there too, like we were born in the middle of shithole California, everybody else was born wherever they were born. That guy reps his spot, and that's South Africa. And if you watched the feed that they had it was like 7 a.m. in the morning when the fight was going on in South Africa. A lot of black dudes rooting for Drakus in that camera. So let's get off that and let's roll. I like the narrative and the story of him versus Izzy. Just because of that, it'll add some fuel to the media fire. And
UFC should just call it what it is: battle of the skin color.
Yeah,
because it's not like
it really
we all know Drakus really took the title back to Africa, and that is like truly it's like,
and it wasn't on a vacation. He took it there, and it's gonna stay there because he lives there, you know. So he is the first African champion. I don't care what anybody says about it. Like, if you want to talk about where you were born, he was born there just like Izzy was born there. I don't think was Kamaru born there.
Kamaru
he was born there.
Yeah.
Okay, you're born there, but Drakus is there. Like
he's still there now.
he's there. He trains there. He lives there. Like he said, he's gonna die there. So it's like,
we can go over there and see him kissing his coaches all the time.
Semantics are what they are. You know what I mean? And you can say whatever you want about history and why there's white people in Africa and all that stuff. But it's like, it don't matter, man. It's 2024, and we got a dude kissing South African white champion who's gonna go up against an anime-loving New Zealander, Nigerian black champion, and we'll see. They have already kind of come out and say Izzy's injured, so UFC 300 isn't going to happen.
Honestly, Drakus, okay, like I like Drakus, so don't shoot for 300.
No, too soon.
You didn't do it. You didn't take the bait when Izzy tried to bait you last time.
Right.
Don't do that.
Well, and I think Izzy's already kind of shied away from it because they've already come out with like injury reports or whatever. That
because
like not going to make it.
He's like,
so.
yeah, I'm going to get taken down.
Right.
Then that's Dricus' only path to victory.
Right. And I think he can do it because Izzy, I don't. He's going to get taken down. Yeah, he can take him down.
If Dricus is going to play the whole, like, I'm going to throw haymakers, it's a bad night for him. But if Dricus comes in, I'm going to take him down and keep taking him down.
Then he probably wins. Yeah.
Yeah, he wins.
I have no reason to go over all of our props and dogs and parlays. We only won one, and that was the Jasmine Jasdavicius sub. I've got that pathetic graphic up right now. So let's put this one in the rearview mirror, buddy. And then on February 3rd, so we don't have a fight this week, but next week we've got Roman Dolidze versus Nasruddin Imavov, another middleweight bout, probably for a title challenge after the Izzy fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of these guys will be next in line after the next middleweight championship, or maybe one of these guys fights Sean Strickland. Because Sean obviously deserves a rematch, whether it's against... It's going to be Izzy, right? Going to fight for the next title shot. So the winner of that, unless they don't give Sean Strickland a rematch, they give it to one of these guys or give this guy, the winner of this, to Sean Strickland for a title eliminator. But we'll talk more about that one next week's show. But all right, I'm done talking about being a loser, dude. All right.
Hey, we have one of these every once in a while.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's our fault. We went against our gut and went with Canada.
IG handicap bettors that post their picks that I always post on to say, "Come look at our picks."
Mm-hmm.
They had a good night.
Yeah,
and that's the only time they had a good night.
Yeah, you know what?
And they praised themselves. They talked about it because every other card I don't see the exact praise.
Right. Well, you know what? We talk about our wins. We also talk about our losses. Yeah. This week was a loss for us, but it's okay. On to the next one.
Taking it on the chin, guys.
I'm just gonna be, and I took it on the chin in football all season. This weekend, I decided I'm not doing any money lines. I'm just betting overs, so I can just bet for points and bet for scores. I think I've decided that next year when I bet on football, it's all overs. But anyway.
Can a team take out Kansas City Chiefs, please?
Jesus.
I don't want to fucking be watching football in my fucking house.
If anybody can do it, it's Lamar. But this isn't a football podcast. This is a fight podcast. So thanks, everybody, for listening. Sorry if you took our picks. And don't enjoy the fights because there is none this week. And we'll talk to you next week.
We'll be back with vengeance.